welcome back to Rich and Centsless.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Sheena.
I'm Pia.
And yeah, we're happy you guys are hopefully joining us again. This is episode 2.
Episode 2.
Let's go. Let's
Deuces.
And then our settings getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
And it's cool because I feel like we watched our old one back a little bit just to kind of learn what you can do better, what I can do better, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like I was looking, anytime I was thinking, I was like, yeah. So I feel like looking around a lot. So this time I'm going to try not to do that and try to look a little more normal.
More normal.
But
yeah, being mindful of the older episodes, and then being like, okay, we're in a podcast, so we can't speak over each other and things like that. Because we're conversationalists, I think, and you and I we love to hype each other up, and we'll just be finishing each other's sentence type thing
all day.
Yeah. So it's so it's a podcast, so we're more formal. A little more formal.
And so people can hear,
Mm-hmm.
they can hear you and hear me clearly. We're not just blah.
Yeah, together.
For real.
That's so funny.
But yeah, how's your week?
It was good. It was good. So far so good. I just went and bought makeup with Sheena here.
Yeah.
Eyeliner, which looks like a pen, it looks like a marker, but
I feel does it help with the stability of your you know what I mean?
Exactly. Because if the tip is flimsy, then it just turns into just some type of circular mess on my eyeball. It doesn't work.
But you're better because you do eyeliner more. Better than me. I'm not really. I feel like eyeliner. I was telling you, I feel like eyeliner looks weird on me. So I don't know.
Fair. I think eyeliner is specific for eye shape. Yes. I honestly do believe that.
Yeah. We got different circumference and stuff.
Yeah. Perimeter of the eyeball.
But yeah. So I know we wanted to kind of get into the topic of feminine energy. We talked about it loosely on the last episode.
Yeah.
But kind of getting into your feminine era and being in your feminine energy and what that means to you. Is it a good thing, a bad thing? And your thoughts on that. I don't know if you want to.
Definitely. Let's dive into it.
Let's go.
Especially with the makeup. That was a great segue here.
Yeah. We're working on our transition.
There you go. See? Yeah.
Speaking of makeup.
Yeah, right. Feminine air. What's funny is that's a big buzzword right now, being in your feminine energy.
Yeah.
And finding a masculine, but we don't need to talk about the masculine right now. Let's focus on the feminine now. Yeah. Fair. But what does that even mean to you, right? Sheena, what does it mean to be feminine?
So I think there's so many layers to that.
Yeah.
Meaning you have the roles, a role of a woman, whether it be in the home or in the
society.
Mm-hmm. And then there's also, I guess, even the more the scaled down things, such as what you wear, how you move, how you walk, how you speak, all of that. I feel like all of that is because honestly, I watched a couple of videos just to see what people were saying about feminine energy and stuff, and it was a lot of if you want to be more feminine, it's very easy. Sway your hips more when you walk.
Really?
Things like that. Which, I mean, I feel like it does play a role, but I also feel like that's so small.
It's so small. It's not all encompassing.
No.
Right? Yeah. Of being a female.
Yeah.
Because what is a female? Yeah. And how can you encompass all aspects of it, right? But
fair, yeah. But there is a more masculine way, in my opinion. There is a more masculine way to walk or move, and there's a more feminine way to walk or move. Obviously it's not literally one way, but I just mean
graceful.
Yeah,
there's a
masculine vibe and a feminine vibe.
I agree. I mean? Yep, definitely.
Sometimes I'd be walking like that. Let me just try to move a little more elegantly.
That's so funny. But again, that what's funny is we grew up in an era where we just did the crip walk out of the classrooms, so that came into play with how I walked and things, and
how you speak,
speak. Yeah, exactly.
You're yo, this man's da da da, and I find myself still speaking like that sometimes,
all the time for me.
I don't want to.
But I don't mind.
I don't mind it to sorry, my sock is bothering me. I don't mind it to an extent, but I also like I don't want to be like overly aggressive all the time. Sometimes, because it is a part of my personality. I think I am like a louder whatever person to some extent, but we get overhype and we do that kind of thing,
Yeah.
and that's cool. But I think like not all the time.
Well, it depends on where you are setting wise
True,
too,
yeah.
right? So again, like I think it's part of your personality. I don't think you should get rid of that hood
Yeah,
in you.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's but I think it also, like you said, I think it changes with who you're around, what you're
Hmm.
doing, where you are in life, what you've experienced, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think I've naturally changed a little bit, but not like substantially.
No, I think I mean, we've all naturally grown, I think. I think you've grown a lot. Like you're a mother of two now and a wife.
So like I have to
I know
to be
it's like I
alive
have to
right now to
survival.
survive.
No, but I think you're still graceful and elegant and feminine.
I think I'm
Perhaps
working on the
okay, fine.
gracefulness. I don't think I'm super graceful. Like
I
I
think
burn
you are.
myself literally every time I cook. I don't know. I
That
feel
makes
like
you
because
less feminine?
I'm just like "Rah," like a little chaotic. I feel like oh sorry, I keep hitting my mic. But I think being feminine is also like you said, I think graceful counteracts like being like chaotic and all over the place. But that also has to do
Okay.
with like the society we live in. I think the society we live in makes it hard to be in your feminine
100.
era.
Exactly. And what's funny is that when you were doing research on what that is, I was doing research too, and a lot of it said like be submissive and
Right.
like do these things where you're
Right.
like more feminine and submissive, but how can I submit when I have to go to work and I'm half dead or I'm tired or
Facts.
I'm doing everything
Constantly
constantly
busy.
busy.
You can't chill.
You can't chill.
Yeah.
So submit to what? I'm
Yeah.
submitting to the government. I
Yeah.
need money.
Facts.
Like
No, 100%.
what man can I submit to when I'm working 24/7 or like, whether it's healthcare or not, it's just anyone working is
Yeah.
it's rough. You got to commute, you got to come home, you got to make your own dinner, you got to make his dinner, you got to make kids dinner, you got a dog. Like
You
it's
gotta clean, you gotta this. And
yeah,
no, I totally
it
agree.
takes femininity out of me. Well, at least for me.
Yeah.
Like it takes it like I want to be graceful. I want to be a little
Society,
fairy.
yeah. Society, I want to be a
I want to be a
fairy.
fairy like in the river, okay?
I just want to be gallivanting in a
Exactly.
forest or a field
Literally.
of like
Daisies.
sunflowers.
Yeah. See?
No, I know what you mean. But that's a fact. Like I feel like society and media to some extent, at least in our era for sure, yeah, stood in the way of trying to be like feminine and soft, your
The
soft
soft
era,
era. Oh my goodness.
Sometimes I want to go to my backyard and like get eggs from my chickens and
Right? I
things like that.
know.
But
In like a summer dress. Like
in a
that's
summer
beautiful.
dress.
Like let me do this. But it's like difficult.
But it's interesting that you bring up submissiveness or whatever, because I feel like that's hella controversial. You know what I
I
mean?
know it is.
Um my like Davin and a couple of like our homies were over or whatever, and they were talking about uh how being in your feminine energy or like being feminine, which includes being submissive, is not like welcomed. But I feel like there's two, like there is, I feel like there's a lot of women that want to now be in their feminine energy or their feminine era, but then you have a side of people, women, I don't know, that are not down with that,
Oh, so it's not welcome for women.
for
Like the men
women.
are
Women
down for it.
aren't welcome
Oh, they're just
because
like,
I
I don't
think,
want to submit.
yeah, because I feel like it's an ego thing. I
Concept.
think it becomes like, wow, why am I submitting to you? Why am I submitting to anybody? That
I
kind of thing.
I've understandable.
Yeah.
But like I will submit if I don't need to go to work. I will submit.
I will submit.
Like disclaimer.
I
Like
think,
if any
yeah.
man's is listening.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But no, exactly. I think it's also like to each his own.
fair,
I
yeah.
don't think it's like anyone saying you have to do anything. But
Yeah.
I think the whole concept of like feminism, whatever,
Or
should be allowing your fellow female to like want what they want and do what they want to do, and to that extent,
yeah.
or to some extent, where it's like, yeah, like some women do want to stay at home, or even if they do work, they do enjoy cooking for their family and cleaning and this and that. I think we are in a time where you could still have that concept of like being submissive to some extent, but that doesn't mean like you're doing everything at home, especially if you're working. You know what I mean?
Especially if you're
Especially if you're
working.
working.
Yeah.
Like for us, we're both working, and I do all the cooking, but Davin cleans so much. You know what I mean? He just doesn't
Balance.
like cooking. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
okay,
And that's
fair,
fine,
yeah.
right? But he'll still do a 1-2 little pasta or something.
That's cute.
But he'll like clean. He's not like, oh, I'm tired, I'm not cleaning or doing anything. You know, crack open a brew and then go to bed.
Yeah.
No, he's like so hands on with the kids and like that kind of thing. So I think that's changed too. We're not thinking of like back in the 60s where like or whatever, you know, where the man comes home, watches TV, washes his hands, goes to bed, doesn't really like help with bringing up the kids and like all of that. Where I feel like you could still cater to your family and like I wanna pack a lunch for my husband, or I wanna have dinner on the table for my family. But if you're both working, there is like a level of give and take.
Yeah, absolutely. There are hindrances from work. And
Yeah.
but we've like your family has adapted to the times.
Yes.
Like you've balanced different chores and it works for you guys. That's
Exactly.
beautiful. I think that is submissive. Like
To
or
some
else,
extent,
well,
right?
I think
Yeah.
so.
I think it's like serving each other more than the
Exactly.
word
Serving
submissive.
the family.
Yes,
A
I think that's a
marriage,
better
a
term.
union.
Yeah,
It
'Cause I think-
works.
yes, exactly. I think some of the semantics or like the words that we choose really get in the way, because again, we live in a in an ego driven society.
Absolutely.
So it's very like, what are you talking about? What do you
Yeah.
mean? Like, you know, like chill out. Like nobody's saying that, you know? Like things exist, like the way we are, the way, you know, we were raised, the way we were created, the way like human nature exists, right? So to kind of be like, nah, like boss bitch, like whatever,
Yeah.
and like, which is totally cool, you know, but that doesn't mean you can't also like serve one
Be a
another,
fairy. Or
you know?
yeah, exactly.
It's
Be a
true.
fairy. I know. But no, you're right. The semantics, it's the wording. Everyone wants to be categorized in this box, and there's no ambiguity in how you consider yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like it's semantics. Like people use these buzzwords and these trigger words, and it's like, well, you're not submissive
Yeah.
because you don't clean. Like, what do you talk like?
Yeah.
Pardon?
Trigger words.
Trigger words.
Yo,
Like,
trigger words.
I don't want to
are
clean
crazy.
today.
Yeah.
Are crazy, right? So
Yo, that actually.
okay.
Sorry, no.
Hit me. No, that's the thought.
that was a-
Semantics
and-
of vocabulary have been used against us.
Because even like when you see a lot of people that have very polarizing opinions, like
Yeah.
conservative or whatever you want to call it, that aren't as liberal as like some of the liberal folks be like, you know, preferring these days. A lot of it is certain words in like a whole, you know, explanation that they give. They'll be like, people will literally be like, that word, like I don't like
I'm
that word, so I don't like
offended.
your entire thought
Statement.
process.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, again, like I think we need to learn to broaden our like thought process and like just like, yo, again, chill out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's be normal. Let's have conversations. Let's agree to disagree. Let's like, you know, figure things out. Let's just be normal and like hear each other out and not like be hung up on like a one word or, you know,
Semantics of a word.
semantics of
Literally.
a word and driven by ego and like,
It's all
you
like
know
you
what I
said,
mean?
it's all ego driven.
But you know, you said like trigger words and things like that, right?
Yeah.
And it makes me think of certain words that I don't like mansplaining. You know, have you heard that? Like, you
yeah.
know?
So like that's like when a man explains something.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you man. Okay, unless you're saying it as a joke. I think these things could be used as like
I thought
really
it was
funny.
a joke. Like,
no, people be
you're
no,
mansplaining to
people are
me.
out here using that
Huh?
as like a real term. And it's
oh
like
my word. Oh my days.
oh my days.
oh my days.
That's so funny. But yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, mansplaining. Things like words like that. And I think the people that use it seriously, yo, like I don't probably won't want to be friends with you. You know, I don't
Fair.
know.
Yeah, to each their own. But like, how do you? So what is it, like a misogynistic way of explaining something? But how can it be
That's my-
misogynistic?
That's my understanding. Well, I guess things can be. Okay, and let me make that clear too. I'm not saying that there isn't like value in the word, and not value, that's a strong word. There isn't like, I understand why the word exists. I think there are men that mansplain things. But I also feel like
But that
I
could be
don't.
said.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
That could be said for That
Like,
could be said for
how do
women.
you
That
know
could be
when
said
it's
for.
real? Like, how do you know when it's just a man explaining something? You're mansplaining? Like, I still don't even get the term, I don't think.
I don't think I fully get it either. Maybe that's a part of the problem. But I think it's what you said. It's like a misogynistic way of like explaining something. But instead of being like, "Oh, you're mansplaining," how about just like be normal and be like, "Nah, like maybe look at it like this."
Yeah.
You
How
know
about
what I
this?
mean?
Yeah.
How about
How about
this?
this though? Okay, I hear you, but how about this?
Exactly.
Or just like, I don't know, sometimes it's like call a spade too. Like if the man is mansplaining, then maybe he's just a misogynistic guy.
Could be,
And
yeah.
that's that. Like, I don't care if you're mansplaining. Like, I don't even need to use that word.
Right, right.
Like, I'll just be like, okay, you're a misogynistic person, and those are your views. Like, I don't understand.
And,
Like,
and it
that's
depends on how deep that conversation is,
exactly,
obviously, right? If
yeah.
he's mansplaining about how to fix something or whatever it is, like chill. I don't think
Chill
it's
out.
that serious.
Yeah.
But exactly, you like if you guys are having deep conversation
And he's
and what he's saying is wild, then
maybe
sure, yeah.
it's not mansplaining. He's just a misogynistic person,
Right,
and
yeah.
those are his views, and he's allowed to be that way.
Yeah.
That's to each their own.
Yeah.
Take your view. That's that.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I think it can go both ways. Like you said, right? Like there could be woman-splaining, man-splaining, all these different types of
It's
like
too ambiguous.
girl dinners.
Anyone,
Have you heard of that? Or
yeah,
like girl math.
girl math, girl dinners.
There's facts behind all of it. You know what I mean? When I see, I'm like, yo, I feel that. Like, you know what I mean?
What's like off topic? What is a girl dinner for you?
I couldn't even. I don't know. What's a girl dinner for you?
Hot dog and a slice of cheese.
Oh.
Like maybe red wine if I'm really having a girl dinner.
Sure.
Yeah,
red wine for sure. I don't know.
Microwaved hot dog,
For
not
me,
even
it's
boiled.
ordering sushi. I think.
Oh, that's nice.
Ordering sushi.
That's bougie girl dinner
by myself.
That's
watching
beautiful.
A movie,
That's
you know?
excellent. That's
Watch
a lovely time
by myself eating sushi.
Oh my god,
to
that's
me.
beautiful.
Yeah.
No,
or
that's
girl
a great
math
time.
though is a fact. Like you buy something, you return it, and now you have this money that you could just spend again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's facts.
As if
I just made money. Actually, I made money.
Yeah, you actually like made.
I made money. I just went to work. I made money from a return.
Now I can spend this on something else that I want.
Exactly.
You know? I like that.
That's girl math is real. That's funny. But yeah, there's a lot of aspects of femininity. Bringing it back.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of aspects of femininity. But another buzzword or concept, a concept is now masculinity. If you want to delve into that today, like, by the way, Davin is her husband.
I mentioned that last.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sidetrack.
But I gotta stop talking about other people. Stick to the podcast, you know.
Yeah, but toxic masculinity. If you want to get into that.
Yeah.
Or what's another thing that is funny because Sheena was saying how she had her homeboys over and her husband, and so being feminine means you don't have a lot of masculine friends, or that's men. Yeah, masculine friends. Oh yeah.
Well, I feel like there's people that would say that that's a thing, but I feel like you meant men.
I meant men. Sorry, yeah. I meant men. But so that's an issue right now because that's now a red flag for people who have, or for women who have more male friends than female friends. Like, and now you're not feminine because you're just like one of the guys.
Oh,
you see what I'm trying to say?
You're one of the guys.
Yeah, because you're one of the guys, and now a lot of men are like, "Oh, that's not feminine energy. You're just
or it's like, oh, you're undercover. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't know. What are your views on that?
I think that's fine. Like I grew up more with guys. Like I grew up more, I guess, masculine in a sense, or less feminine, whatever. So I grew up with a lot of guys that are like my brothers now. Yeah. Literally, they're all married. Their wives like me. Yeah. And so, but I'm noticing more so in the dating world that people are like, oh, why do you have like 14 okay, not 14. I have like 4 guy friends and like maybe a 1-2 girlfriend that's like your best friend. Yeah. But it's a problem now.
I can see that. I can see that. I've been told in the past, like, you have way too many guy friends.
Yeah, we've both. Yeah, exactly. We've had a whole lot of homeboys.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is, like, a lot of my homeboys, and I think it's probably for you too, at least at this point in my life, like, yo, they've been my friends for like
decades.
20 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like, if you were to talk to them, like their view, I would think is like, nah, like that's that's my homegirl. You know what I mean? It's not like
It's a
that, you know?
sister, like
And not that
literally.
it's not just, it's never been like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's never been like that.
But I think a part of that also is, especially where it's like, oh, maybe she's a hoe, is like there's a lot of women that are like that, or like people, like
I
groups,
guess.
friend
Yeah.
groups in general that are like that. I shouldn't even just say women, just in general, where like,
It derives from reality.
yeah,
This
where
like
it's like,
concept.
exactly, like, oh, I have all these guy friends, but eventually like you're sleeping with each other, you know? So
Yeah.
I feel like that exists, especially in the States. I feel like the States has such a more
Swingers.
aggressive sexual culture. Canada has it too now, but I think growing up, I think in the States, because you would see it in movies and stuff, but it didn't really like, we didn't really live like that out here. I feel like,
Oh, I definitely didn't.
you know, and I feel like people around us didn't. The way the movies,
I know, like
you
this
know what I
friend's
mean?
hooking up with that friend, and that friend's
Everybody
mad at
had a
this friend.
car while they were in high school, and
Yeah.
everybody's like hooking up with each other. I
Yeah.
feel like that wasn't a thing. You guys tell us if
Yeah.
we're wrong. Maybe it was like where we grew up, but in the States, I know, like when I talk to like friends and stuff from the US, they're like, no, I was definitely like that.
Hookup culture
For
is
sure.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's fair. I never really even thought about it like that, because I get all of my homeboys are, it's like super just platonic, and it's
Yeah.
never been any other way.
yeah.
Those are my homeboys, and they don't even like me. I'm
Yeah,
one of the homeboys.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's like,
So-
ew, yeah.
It's like ill.
Yeah.
So the guy that I'm dating had to like meet the guys to confirm like whether we're friends or not, which is fair. Like I get it,
Mhm.
but like now he sees like, okay, yeah, these
He's
are
in-
homeboys.
Yeah.
He's comfortable with it
For his
now.
own security.
For his own security, I guess. Yeah, but it's like, these are my homeboys that are married too, and they all have kids. Like,
so
it's a family. Like we're all homies,
and like I knew
we grew
you
up that way.
before you even had a girl, and now you have a
Yeah.
girl and you're married. Yeah.
And it's the same ways. Like
Yeah.
nothing has changed. We've like,
and
we're
when
a
you get the
family.
validation from like the wife, even though like
Yes,
it depends, it almost, you know what it is, when you get the validation from the wife, it makes me happy for the homie. So I'm like, you got a normal, good
homegirl.
girl. And I don't want to say, let me not say normal, because there's women that have been through trauma and like been cheated on and stuff, and hence that's why they're
That's why they're like that.
the insecurities and
Yeah.
stuff. But just like
A healed woman you have. So I'm
healed
happy
woman.
for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Selfishly for the homies. You know what I mean? You wanna,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. You want to make sure they got the right woman there.
Yeah.
And again, all my homeboys, like they're all married, and the wives love me, so I'm Gucci.
So you're good. Yeah.
Like, these are my homeboys. These are my brothers. Yeah. So it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one thing. But again, toxic masculinity. If you want to,
Yeah.
if you're like, what is that? Like, I don't even really know what that is.
Well, no, I feel like maybe we can Google it real quick, but like I think toxic masculinity is like,
oh, when media makes you overly masculine, like make you want to be more masculine?
whether it be media or whatever. Yeah,
Or
I think
pressures of society.
yeah. Where I think toxic masculinity is what gives the concept of like being submissive like a bad name, because now these guys are
Oh.
almost like, like,
I
where
got it. It's like that weird toxic yin yang.
Yes.
Okay,
Again,
okay.
taking away. That's why I wanted to switch it to like serving as opposed to like submitting,
Yeah,
right?
serving as a whole, like
Because then it becomes like, yeah, you guys
union.
are serving each other. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. In the ways that you know how, in the ways that you naturally nurture, each other.
Yeah,
and things
that's
like that, right?
beautiful. Again,
Yo.
that we gotta stop
When we
this.
were watching
That's
the last one, I was like, this
beautiful.
girl's saying everything I'm saying. You're gonna make me feel like a philosopher at the end.
You
of the
are
whole
though.
video.
That's
Okay.
nurturing in the way that you know best. That is really beautiful though.
It's pretty basic.
Nah, that's
Appreciate you.
deep.
This girl hypes me up all the time.
Nah.
Thank you, though.
Appreciate the hype. But okay, yeah, fair. So now it's like this toxic yin yang of these roles of men and women.
Yeah,
Brutal.
I think that's what it is, and of course that exists.
Yeah,
of course that exists. There's toxic masculinity. There's toxic, like, humans in general. Like, 100%. Yeah. I think the reason, like, to be real, I don't want to take away from the concept of like, there's a reason men, or like the masculine aspect of it, is like more of a trigger, and I think it's because like, okay, men are such a big part of like running the world, or they have been for so long, which is why there's more of like an attack, I think, on surface level. I get it, but I think also the media or whatever, I don't know, like whoever controls or whoever like assists in putting out these narratives a little bit
Yeah.
more, because it's not just like you and I, you know what I mean? It's there are like there is a concept of media manipulation and like, you know,
100%.
putting out like what it is that we
Stories.
should be believing in and things like that, and like all it doesn't always work. We end up grasping onto things, but we're pretty we're like a malleable society. We are easily like manipulated.
Literally.
You
Yeah.
know what
Well,
I mean? Our thought
malleable.
process.
Yeah.
Like a lot of
Impressionable.
the times we yeah, a lot of the times we um think we're being revolutionary, but really we're just like really giving into
The narrative
the
that they've,
narratives that they're kind of feeding us, you know?
yeah,
Not to get too
deep into
controversial
the.
or like conspiracy or whatever,
Well,
but
there is propaganda regardless of conspiracy. Like, that is fact.
it's a fact.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I said all of that to say what? What were oh yeah, like the attack on men or whatever.
Right.
Like so I see where it comes from and I think it's valid totally, but I think it was also taken and like ran with to a level of like now we're almost in a place where we're trying to like feminize women to some extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with like having men be emotional and shit. I think that's important. I think like that is a real thing. I think like, you know, men have like been forced to like suppress emotions growing up and things like that. Just like women had issues with like physical appearance, you know, like all of
Mm-hmm.
these different things. Which could be said for both, whatever, but I think they took it and ran with it is what I'm trying to say. You
Definitely.
know?
Yeah.
Sorry, like I feel like I explained that really long for no
No,
reason.
that was nice. That made sense. Yeah, but vulnerability in men, again, they really did run with that one.
They ran with it and it became like the feminizing or
Yeah.
demasculating or
Demasculating.
whatever, you know? Is that a word?
Emasculating.
Emasculating?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
English.
exactly. That
Yeah.
was a crazy laugh.
Oh, that was me?
No, me.
Oh.
But yeah, I think that's a problem in
It
society.
is.
Toxic, yes. In short, yes, toxic masculinity exists. Yes, like there is like men do capitalize a lot of spaces, you know, and it's getting better, but I definitely think they took that concept and ran with it for sure
Yeah.
to make it a bigger thing that it is. And like and I think a lot of the times when they do that, it's like an easy way to like drop bombs on us and then we like
Bicker among.
we self-destruct, right?
Okay,
We
fair. Yeah, that.
divide.
Oh, yes,
We
yes, yes.
divide very easily when it comes to like putting out these controversial little things, like little
Exactly.
controversial nuggets, and then we
Yeah.
divide. And like, what's the easiest way to really like?
Conquer. Did I just finish your sentence like I
You
usually
just
do?
did.
No,
Are
but you're
we best
right.
friends?
I know.
But yeah,
No, seriously, that's literally it. Because, like, what are we even really arguing about?
yeah,
You're being a man and I'm being a woman, huh?
yeah.
Huh?
Well, you know,
Like, just,
and yeah,
yeah.
exactly, 100%. And then to even get into like, what are they doing to like women? In my personal opinion, and
Oh, let's get into
this
that.
is gonna be
Get into
controversial
it.
though.
Yo, say
It's gonna be hella
it.
controversial. Okay, give me a moment. And we're back. But yeah, so I think the attack on women is like is yeah, the attack on our femininity, which I feel like I love that like women are out here like re-embracing that because I see that a lot now. Like again, going back to the feminine energy and like feminine being in your feminine era. I feel like they were trying to like take away from that and that was like a part of the attack, like just masculating women and feminizing men to some extent.
Yeah.
But with that said, also like devaluing humans in whichever format that is. And when it comes to women, I feel like I don't want to get into like the legalization of like abortion and this and that in terms of like discussing it of what we think is right and wrong. But just the idea of like we're gonna legalize abortion while we create over sexualization of like women and women and presenting it as like freedom for women. You know what I'm trying to say? Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Where sorry, I just elaborate. I just want to say like meaning women go be like as sexual as you want, sleep with whoever you want, and negate any responsibility or accountability, because like sex can lead to like pregnancy, so like easy, boom, here's an abortion. You know what I mean? That's all I mean. um Again, not really like focusing on the concept of like
The
abortion and
nitty
stuff like
gritty.
that.
Yeah.
I think all I did want to say though is because I think there's like layers to that too.
Yeah.
But what I did want to say though is like it's interesting how they don't put a focus on like accountability and responsibility, and maybe even just like teaching responsibility. It's more like, yo, go be free, go do what you want. That's what like real women do, and then like hold no responsibility for your actions,
Yeah.
right? Instead of it being like, yo, like remember back in the day, sorry, I'm like going
No,
on a
go
tangent here, but
go
like
run
how
with
back
it.
in the day it was a lot of like, yo, like how come when men like sleep with a lot of girls, they're like, yo, play it, whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, like it's a good thing, it's
Mm,
celebrated, whereas like women are hoes, right?
yeah.
But we fought that for so long, where it's like, oh, men are so dirty, like they're sleeping with all these women, but at the same time like they're getting like praise for it. And it's like we fought that for so long that it became can't beat them, join them, I feel like.
It,
So now it's like,
yeah.
all right, since like we're gonna like be cool with like men being dogs,
We
let's
gonna
just
just
be
be
dogs
dogs.
too, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's like a big role in like the attack
The
on
cult.
women
It
on a
exactly.
personal
No, that's makes
level.
sense.
Yeah.
Cause like you were saying, it's the narrative they sell to us, and now like they've already painted a narrative of what it is to be a woman,
Yeah.
and then they sold us this freedom narrative,
Yeah.
but that we fought so against, and then now we're just embracing it because we think we're supposed to almost.
Yeah.
They've almost sold it in a way where it's like you should be free.
Mm-hmm.
It's liberating. It
Yeah.
like sexual liberation, whatever buzzwords they use. I don't know. But it's
Yeah.
almost like that's
Scott's
I
favorite term.
suddenly buzzwords. Suddenly we're now fighting for this and we don't even know what we're fighting for anymore because they've just sold the narrative to us and we're just running
Exactly.
with it.
Exactly. But
Like
do we
that's what
ever
it's
know what we're being sold anymore?
no, it's just all propaganda.
Because
And
it's
then
so much overconsumption.
yeah,
Yeah. Sorry, that's another topic. We can get into that after,
overconsumption.
but
No,
keep
that we
going.
should get
Yeah.
into that. There's a lot. Like there is so much overconsumption. Like I just sometimes want my phone to be on airplane mode and then just I never want to look at anything ever again
Yeah.
because it's a lot.
Yeah.
Right? So then, but exactly, they sold us the narrative. They sold the men a narrative. This is masculine, this is feminine, but then we're going to make you bicker about what it is to be masculine and feminine, and then we're going to make the women try to be hoes to catch up with the men.
Yeah.
But then we're going to shame you a little bit because
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
feminine
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's like it's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a
Yeah.
mess, and we're just bickering over that. Like relationships are failing,
Yeah.
families are failing.
Yeah.
This guy has 17 baby moms.
Yeah.
Families are broken, and it's like for what? For why? What are
Yeah.
we doing? What is this?
Well, yeah. And then that kind of
Rubbish.
circles back to the ego of
Yes.
like people don't want to put in the work on themselves and or their relationships or friendships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
give up too easy. I'm not saying stay in abusive. I feel like we even talked about this last time. I don't know, but I'm not saying stay in an abusive relationship. I'm just saying like, yo, if y'all disagree on a 1-2 things, talk about it.
Yeah.
Communicate.
Yeah.
See what you can do to like work on it. And communicate also doesn't mean like put a guard up and be defensive.
No.
Which, yo, like I've done many, many times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's like your ego talking, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Introspection.
Yes. And I, also, side note, ego doesn't mean like don't have self-confidence. Have
Oh,
self-confidence,
absolutely not.
know who you are, all that kind of stuff. It's just more like
Pride.
be able to see the other perspective without
Yes.
without a little
Jaded.
bit of a like a blinders on. or
Blinders.
whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Self-preservation blinders or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Communication.
Know who you are and be confident in it. So therefore, when you are talking about stuff and there are things that really are attacking your character, you can stand your ground.
Exactly.
You know? But that doesn't mean when you guys are talking about something and discussing something that might like maybe you'll need to change a little, I'll need to change a little. That's cool. Like let's see if like that could work. If it's worth whatever it
working.
is. What? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
But we're in a culture where you just swipe. Oh, next baby moms or like next. Let me date this guy real quick. Like something like I'll find better.
Yeah.
Because there's a billion people. I'll find better.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're being taught. Like that's the new narrative I find. Especially I'm dating. So like that's the new narrative. Like, you'll find something better. Oh, he doesn't value you? Oh, that's not a what's another buzzword? They use oh my God. There's a word I can't think of it now, but there's a buzzword for the proper man. You'll find a high value man.
Oh, high
High value
value.
man. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not a high value man. You're not a high value woman if you don't do this or you don't do that.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you guys talking about?
Really,
What
we
are you
should
talking
all be
about?
like trying to lift each other up to be like
Yes.
high value people instead of like
Society.
yeah. Especially if you are in your like early 20s or whatever, late 20s even, and you're dating and you meet someone that checks off a lot of boxes, but maybe like societally or even personally, they don't match a 1-2 things. And they're smaller things like that, like maybe they're working on building their business and they're working on their career.
Yeah.
Is it like, nah, you don't
Nah,
make 6
you're
figures,
not high value.
not high value,
Next.
that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. And then like also what Shino's saying, it comes into overconsumption because I see these reels on my Instagram on the regular sometimes. And funnily enough, whenever I get into like a breakup, like how they be listening, but like all of a sudden all these reels will come up and it's like they be listening. And it's like stuff like, oh, he should be valuing you in this way. And then it's like, and then I like start to think like, yeah, he should be.
I get
and then I'm
hella
like,
caught up.
I get hella caught up. And I'm like, yo, should I send this to him? How come it's on my reel, not his?
Yeah.
But like, stuff like that. And then I'll come to her for advice. But at the end of the day, like when it comes down to it, it's like, am I really valuing this person off of an Instagram reel that some man's made? Like that's goofy.
Yeah.
I can't break up with someone because Instagram told me to.
And like
that's
exactly, like you don't know their life.
Exactly.
For real, right?
How about
like,
fix up myself?
Yeah.
Introspection on myself. Like,
yeah.
Let me communicate better. Because like you said, communication is for the other person actually. Once you've known yourself and you stand your ground for this, then it's like, okay, let me communicate so that they know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned. Like communication is not me just being like, oh, this is my piece.
Yeah.
It's almost in a way where they can understand how you're communicating.
Yeah.
At least that's what I've learned in this relationship.
I said, yeah, I won't lie. I didn't really fully understand what you're saying.
Oh, like communicate in a way where you meet them at their terms too. Because sometimes people will communicate in a way where it's like, I'm just going to be yelling. That's my best way of mode of communication is through that. But it's like, yo, it doesn't even reach their brains.
I feel you.
If you're just yelling, they're shutting you off. So it's like, okay,
like
let me understand.
No, sorry, I cut you off. My bad.
Like, let me understand how this person will understand that. Like, if I'm going to discuss something, let me sit him down and like, let's have dinner and then we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to be yelling like right off the bat. Like, just because even though that's how I communicate, because that's how I've learned to. But now I understand like there's better modes to communication.
Yeah,
it's for the other person. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you meant by like communicating is for the other person in the sense of I thought you were trying to say like when you're communicating things, it's just to like teach the other person. No, you're saying to be able to get your point across.
Yes.
Because it's not just like, oh, if you don't understand me, boom, done.
Yeah.
No, like you want to do what you can to make sure the other person understands you too.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that.
That makes sense. I feel
yeah. Creating an atmosphere of communicate, like safe communication.
Yeah.
That too, like so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because why not, right? Like, why not want the other person to understand where you're coming from, right?
Communication, which is literally
that's
communication.
What it is.
Yeah.
Well, I've said this to you recently too, where it's like, yo, you can like love somebody, but if you can't figure out the communication aspect of it,
exactly,
yo, it's not gonna work. Right?
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean you get into a relationship and like y'all don't know how to communicate. Boom, like let me just move on. No, like. You can work on it.
Exactly.
As long as y'all work on it. Though,
yes.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Definitely work on the communication. And you're not going to be able to communicate with everyone because the styles are different. Yeah. And that's what union is. Like that's what literally two people coming together because it's going to be hard. Yeah. Two of any people.
Yeah.
Two girls, two guys, like in roommate situations or whatever.
Any sort of
human interaction, two people living in close quarters. That's wild.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that is wild. Yeah. So of course it's
even more so I think if it's not a relationship, if you have to live together because it's kind of like they don't owe you anything.
Exactly. It's even harder.
Yeah.
So sure. The human experience is difficult enough. So don't listen to those Instagram reels is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Don't want to dictate your love life.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? It is cool though to see like there are a lot of people nowadays that are they're using their agency and like logically thinking a little bit more. There's a lot of people that are not, but there are people that are out here, trying to make sense. Like, you know what I mean? Out here trying to be logical and not just giving into like the things that we see online and stuff. Again, just circling back to the feminine energy thing, and even women out here talking about how toxic masculinity, the concept of it, or mansplaining and things like that, could be problematic to some extent, even though, again, not negating the existence of it or like disregarding the existence of it,
Yeah.
but just like not harping on it. Let's
Harping
see,
on
like,
it,
what are we,
exactly.
you know what I mean? Yeah. And just like explaining again back to like being able to speak to each other. Like, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, what if there's men out here that were raised by like the media, and women out here raised by the media to think a certain way and be a certain way? Like, let's discuss it. Let's talk about it instead of just like pointing fingers. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it so we can like be better. You know,
Exactly. Advances a society
generationally,
generationally,
generationally.
absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, and like break those, um what's the word?
Mindsets.
Yeah,
Like
mindsets. And
mind
I'm like,
frames or whatever.
thank you for chiming in. But yeah,
Mindsets. Yeah, barriers. It's
yeah,
all barriers, like, to, because, like, are we thinking or are they thinking for us?
yeah.
And we think we're thinking.
I think we're
Damn.
thinking things. Oh, but that's a fact. Like, because we were just saying, like, we scroll and we like give in to the things we're looking at, right? Happens
Absolutely.
to, look, we can think logically when we're discussing with each other, but when I'm just looking at my phone and I'm like, yo, my man don't cook me dinners like this,
Yeah, right? Like,
like
yeah,
things like
like,
that,
am I high value?
right?
What is that?
Or like, girl, you're better than me. I am better
Yeah,
than
yeah,
you, or whatever,
really. No, that's really how it be.
Yeah. I'm bringing up only situations, relationships, but in anything, right? In anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of like relationships and friendships and, girls, and like, do you know what the concept? I think
No.
I touched upon this earlier with
I,
you, and you were like, what's a
what is
girl's
girl?
girl?
Yeah, I thought you meant girly girl.
No, like, I think the concept of a girl's girl is just like, I think you're a girl's girl to some extent, but again, I think we're kind of the same. Where, sorry,
What is it
getting
though?
ahead of myself. Yeah, I think a girl's girl is more like a girl that will like be there for their homegirls, be there for like the girlies, and like
Oh,
stand up for them and like have their back and like, support and things like that. So I think, yeah, I think 100% we are girls, but I think we're like people's people.
wait. Okay, hold on. No,
I
you
just
lost
made that
me.
up though. I made that up. I made that up.
People's people, like, oh,
Well,
like you're not just for the girls.
you know what? Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm definitely for the girls in the sense of like, yo, I'm gonna have your back. I'm gonna support you. You're starting a business. Yo, what can I do to,
Show
support? Should
up.
I like share your Instagram? But like, whatever. Yeah. How can I show up for you?
Right.
But at the same time, and like, if I'm in a situation and like it's me and you are somewhere, right? And a guy you're talking to is like wildin',
Oh
maybe
yeah,
not wild.
he's
That's strong, but like
acting
trying
up.
to make you, look bad or whatever. Yo, yeah, like if I feel like you need me to chime in, because I also feel like you stand your ground.
But she has chimed in
I have chimed. If
in the
hopefully it's
past.
welcomed. I don't
Oh,
know. Okay,
100%.
okay,
I've
okay.
survived because of you.
Oh, no, like I never want to do it where I'm like, how there's people that are
Overstepping.
out here overstepping
Yeah.
too,
No.
where
No.
it's
No.
like
It's
that's
not
not
like that.
necessary, right? Where it's like, because you can stand your ground. You're not the type that can't stand their
Thank you.
ground. Yeah. So it's like, I'm not trying to do all. You got you can hold your own.
Yeah.
But if I feel like it's a situation, nah, like I'm gonna like chime in for my homegirl to be like, no, chill
Yeah.
out,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
that kind of
Exactly.
thing. Um, but the notion that makes me want to say like people's people is because like, I don't know, y'all tell me, like, is a girl's girl also somebody that's gonna like have their girls back in like the wrong situation?
Oh, like a yes man for women.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, woman.
Yes, women.
Well, yeah, because I almost feel like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not what a girl's girl is, right? I'm hoping it's not, because I feel like that actually is like does the opposite, has the opposite effect, right? Because if you're like if you're out here um encouraging negative behavior
Enabling.
or enabling, it's like it's really like not helping the person,
Productive.
right? Like it's
Yeah.
actually like a negatively impacting the person.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, then I'm
Right?
definitely, yeah.
So
I
maybe that's
understand what
not
you're
what that
saying.
is, and I just made that up.
Maybe.
Hopefully that's not
That's not the,
what a girl's girl is. I'm hoping.
oh, then I'm people's people too. But like, you're definitely not that anyways. You've put me on some facts. Like, you've actually helped my mindset before. And it's
You
welcomed.
too. I feel like
Yeah, we can talk to each other.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I feel like it's important to, like, if we're gonna like adapt the concept of like girls girl and like go into friendship and stuff. Yeah, I think completely. I think it's so important to call each other out on your bullshit. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
100%.
Just because it betters you as a person, and it betters me, and it betters, the
The friendship
situation,
too,
right?
and the
Yeah.
situation,
And maybe I'm
exactly.
wrong, maybe I'm calling you out and you're like, no, actually you're wrong, but we can have that without being offended, like knowing that it's not coming from a malicious place, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually just
exactly.
recently had a situation with one of my homegirls. I'm talking like, yo, I've known this girl since kindergarten,
Oh
literally junior
shit.
kindergarten, and we don't have too many instances where like we've had to call each other out, I don't think. Like in our older years at least, especially. But like something happened where I had sent her, um I don't think she'll mind. I'm not going to get into like the concept of what it was, but I sent her a screenshot that I had of one of our messages, um from like, you could tell because like the WhatsApp was like the old WhatsApp or whatever,
Oh,
it was like
okay.
long time ago, right? Like probably 10 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. And I sent it to her, and it was something like silly, like she was asking me a question of like how to do something, and I was like, yo, I can't believe you don't know how to do that, LOL. Like it was funny,
Okay, it was funny.
and
It's a funny
sometimes I
screenshot.
screenshot funny stuff. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
reminisce.
weird.
No, that's funny.
Okay, because like when I sent it to her, she laughed or whatever, but then she was also like, wait, why do you have that? Did you send it to somebody? Which is why
No.
you have that screenshot.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? But okay, honestly, was that the first thought? If I were to send you a screenshot of our conversation, an old one, what would you think?
I would laugh like, oh my God, that's so funny.
And like that's it.
I think you actually have.
I probably I have mad
Oh my
For the
God,
record,
you
I have
have.
mad screenshots, but I don't have screenshots of anything like
Weird.
personal
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
like anything serious or anything. Only if it's like silly and goofy, like to me.
What's funny is I saved the screenshot. I was so happy you sent it to me.
Okay.
And I posted it. So
What was it?
it was okay, it was literally like, on WhatsApp you can have a status or something, or like a little blip about yourself, bio or
Oh,
something.
okay, okay.
And in like I searched
Oh yeah.
2007 or something like that. I put gang
2007?
gang. Yeah. Maybe I 2000, okay, 2017. Oh my God, are we old? But I put gang gang.
2007, like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, like that's what I felt like though. Yeah, that's what it felt like. But it was basically like my like bio was gang gang. And literally she sent me the screenshot and I saved it and I was like, I'm the same person.
Oh
Cause I was like, I
yeah.
still be saying gang gang. Like
I'm like,
didn't I say gang gang to you
literally
yesterday?
the other day. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I to me the first thought is not like, oh my God, why do you have a screenshot? I was dying. I was like, I'm so glad you have the
Yeah.
screenshot
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saved it and I put it on Instagram. I'm like, yo, nothing has changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gang
Yeah.
shit. Like gang
Gang
gang.
shit. A whole lot of gang shit.
Yeah, a whole lot of
Yeah.
gang shit.
No, and I'm glad you felt that way. But at the same time, I understood where she came from after. It did not cross my mind. I even told her, I was like, this is how the conversation went. So she said that to me in like a
Hmm.
voice note, whatever, right? And then I was like, nah, like, what do you mean? Like, I take screenshots of funny things. And in that moment, I was almost like, whoa, like, I can't believe,
Why did you think
why'd you
that?
think that, But then I thought about it, from like a different perspective. And I was like, I get it. I get it. Maybe she was like, oh, like, did you send this? And it was like, haha, she doesn't know how to do this, like,
No.
whatever. Which is fine. Yes, my perspective was like almost like, yo, why would you think that, But and then she had messaged me and said like, yeah, because I responded back and was like, oh, that's weird that you think that, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then she was like, yeah, like, I did think it was weird that you had the screenshot. And then when I said, I think it's weird that you think it's weird, she was like, yo, I feel like that's like you're gaslighting me low key, like, And honestly, I called her. I was like, because again, homegirl, that's like family,
Yeah.
So I called her, and no weird vibes. Even like when she answered, she wasn't like weird about it at all. It was just like, and the first thing I said to her was like, you know what? I appreciate that, like, you shared your thoughts, because if that's in your mind, if we're homegirls, like, I would rather you tell me, because that's not my intent
Forthcoming.
at all,
Yeah, exactly. Clarify.
yeah. And then yeah, she shared that with me, and I said, yo, look, thanks for telling me at least. And then I said my piece, and she said her piece, and at the end of it, it was like, yo, she was like, yo, thank you for telling me. And it was
Yeah.
just like a good because we're different people, we can have different like trains of thought, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And like she was just sharing too, like, yeah, like because I was telling her, I was like, yo, I was overthinking it, and I was hoping like, oh no, like I hope you don't really think, because I truly am telling you the truth. I didn't send this to any,
Yeah.
and then she was like, no, like don't overthink our friendship, like all good, don't ever, like, and I was like, all right, cool. She's like, no, it's, and then we kind of had the conversation that I'm just chatting with you about now, where it's like, yo, I'm glad that like we can call each other out on our bullshit and like move past it in 2 seconds, because I think she knew and I know that, again, our intention is never to like make anybody feel any type of way.
Yeah.
And I won't even lie, like the type of person that I am, and I also feel like the type of person that she is, and a lot of my close friends, is like, if I had sent it to someone, which I would never do that, I wouldn't even think that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? In this point in my life, I would tell you, I'd be like, you know what, I
I
did.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, yo, now thinking about it, like I shouldn't have done that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I say all that to say that it's dope. It's dope when you have friendships like that. It's so, like, I love that.
Refreshing.
You nurture those friendships, because it's
Yes.
like, those are the people that understand you, and when they don't, they call you out on it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you
Yeah.
guys figure it out.
Exactly. Again, communication, mode of communication.
Yeah.
You both put it on the plate, and then you're like,
Yeah.
okay, what
Yeah.
is it? Let's break it down.
Let's figure it out.
Let's figure
And
it out.
proof that you can be friends with people that don't think exactly the same as you.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and y'all could like discuss. I have good friends that like, I've known forever, that really maybe they would oppose a lot of the things that I would say now, like that we're talking about now. But like, in our heart of hearts, we
We
know what it
homies.
is. We
Yeah.
homies, we can
Yeah.
discuss it. We can really, really break down like our opposing opinions, and then like bun a spliff after. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Oh, but that's treasure.
Yeah.
Like, we should really nurture, like you said, nurture those friendships.
Yeah.
That's a treasure.
Yeah. I
That's
love
what
that.
life is. Like, to be able to
Yeah.
have views and then chill.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
No ego, just chilling.
Well, like I think, again, I was gonna say, again, we touched upon it last time, but
Yeah.
I think it's so important to be able to discuss things,
Mhm.
because then, like, how do you grow and learn when it becomes like, yo, well, you don't know, I don't need to tell you. You
Yeah.
should be doing your own research. Yeah, sure. I shouldn't be teaching you everything in
Fair.
life.
Yeah.
But like, if it's something like, and you say something that's super like offensive in general about something or someone, and whatever, we can discuss it, and like maybe like, yo, why do you think this way? And like, maybe this isn't the right way to like think
Go
about,
about it. Yeah.
this race or this species or this age or this whatever. And this is Wagwan, and maybe like look into it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe don't ask me the same question 10 times about the same topic. Cool.
Yeah.
I get that, where it's like, yo, I shouldn't have to hold your hand through life, but like, we can discuss it, and then you can like look
Make your
into
own
it if you
inferences.
want.
Yeah,
And like,
exactly.
and make
Yeah.
your own. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe I won't change your mind. That's cool too.
That's cool too. Yeah.
And if
a
it's
safe
really
space.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a safe space. But if it becomes like a tragic conversation and you guys don't work out, that's cool too.
That's cool too.
But I think it's important to like have that like line of
Communication.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
think we've used communication. I was trying to like think of a different word, but yeah,
Thesaurus
exactly.
word. Or like, that's what it is, right? Thesaurus? To get
Yeah.
like another.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is probably does anyone even know what a thesaurus is? They don't even exist.
What?
I'm telling you,
Oh,
no
like
one
the
has a
new school
dictionary
Yeah, but
on paper.
yeah, like I see what you're saying, because you'll Google like synonyms for, or like
Synonyms
another
for,
word
yeah.
for whatever, right?
Yeah.
Do they know that that's popping up in a thesaurus?
It's a thesaurus.
Yo, that's crazy. I
Yeah,
didn't think
it's
about
crazy.
that. Holy.
They don't know what that is. These kids can't even tell
Let me
time.
just dust off my VCR.
I know, yeah.
You
Get my floppy disk.
Crazy.
Oh my god.
Are
Yeah.
we can't do this every episode. We're gonna age ourselves crazy.
Oh,
We
I
did this
know.
last time too. Nah.
Did we?
Yeah, no,
Oh
no.
no. Okay, fair. Yeah, that's the last. That's the
Not
last
doing
time.
that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, crazy. I saw a meme or like somebody talking about how it was like, oh, like the 70s were crazy. Yeah, like that was like holy, like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 20 years ago.
Bro.
Hold up.
What? Yeah.
Was this girl math?
Nah, I know, crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
And don't worry, man. If for any reason you're watching this and you're younger, you're gonna get there too. So don't be offensive.
Don't be offensive. I know. Don't be mean.
Don't be mean.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like that kind of touched upon a lot of what we were looking to talk about. you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wanna kind of, I know I said this already, but I really do want to say that I appreciate that like we're out here using our own, like brains and trying to like understand what like life really means to us and not just accepting the things that we see online,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's hard for us to
Navigate.
and like stay focused
Oh, I see what you're
on
saying.
like stay focused long enough to have a thought process, because
Yes.
everything people are saying, even like long form content is like going out of style for lack of a better term, you know what I mean, where people just want to see shorts and
Mm-hmm.
reels, and it's like, yo, I encourage y'all to watch longer things, because like I find myself clicking on shorts and stuff a lot more because you just want to go to the next thing. But then it's like, what's
Exactly.
that doing to our brains in the long run?
I know.
You know
It's
what I
like
mean?
instant gratification. If we don't, I can't do it right away. Next thing.
Next,
Like
yeah,
next thing. It's just it. That's all it is. It's
yeah.
just short. Everything's like on a 2 second
That has to be
lifespan.
modifying our brains, like in
Oh,
the
of
long run,
course.
right? Like the
Definitely.
capacity of um what we can take in and what we can
The duration of it. Yeah, it's like
yeah,
ADHD
absorb.
almost.
Yeah,
Absorb. Yeah. It's almost like creating this like societal ADHD,
yeah.
or just, we can't even sit through movies anymore. At
Crazy.
least some people can, but some people get really anxious.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy because
Yeah.
we used to really sit through. Okay, songs used to be like 5-6 minutes. There was an
No.
intro, yeah, on a CD.
6 minutes is
Okay, okay,
crazy.
five. Okay, but
Maybe I'm
J Lo
wrong.
had like,
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah, it's like
Okay,
six.
okay, that's we need to look into this.
Okay, if I will look into it, but I swear songs were never like 3 seconds long or whatever they are now,
Really?
like a 2 minute song. They used to be 5 minutes on an album.
Oh.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why albums are also like the
like
track lists are a little bit like heftier than they were. Because I feel like before, easy 12 song track list done. Now
yeah.
it's like 17,
Oh,
18.
geez, is
Isn't
it?
it? I thought.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe I'm just making this up and like I'm just wrong. But I feel like,
But I think everything is becoming shorter.
yeah.
Movies are compressed, or maybe they're not, but like, I don't know.
No, I don't know if
Instant.
they're shorter. I don't think movies are necessarily shorter and stuff, but I can see what you're saying about people being a little bit more anxious when they have to like sit
Sit
through a
through
long
things.
thing
Yeah.
or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yo, I think that's good. This is a weird way to end it. I'm just like, I think that's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yo, I hope you guys enjoyed our talk.
Hmm.
Let us know, honestly, because we're like new to this. Let us know if we're like jumping from one thing to another, if this is a good conversation, other things you'd like to like hear about. And yeah,
Yeah. We're open to whatever information.
constructive
Constructive
criticism.
criticism. Yeah, there's the
Yeah,
word.
communication.
Yeah. Yeah. See, we'll leave that avenue open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, yo, until next time.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time.
Sayonara.
Gonna work on this outro.
I know.
I like the last one. You're like, we're famous.
We are famous.